Hello, and today we're going to be reading Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are? Oh, and if I'm a bit loud, it's because I have a problem with one of my ears. So, yeah. This one was published by Collins in the UK. Whoa, look at him! He looks very sad. Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are? By Dr. Seuss. This book with love is for Phyllis the Jackson. This one was published in 1990. I think there are slightly later versions, but they're not I have. When I was quite young and quite small for my size, I met an old man in the desert of Dries, and he sang me a song I will never forget. At least, well, I haven't forgotten yet. Oh, there you go. There's the guy on the front. Is he really sitting on a cactus? He looks more hot there. He sat in a terribly prickly place, but he sang with a sunny, sweet smile on his face. When you think things are bad, when you feel sour and blue, when you start to get mad, you should do what I do. Just tell yourself, ducky, you're really quite lucky. Some people are much more, even much more, much more unlucky than you. So he's on this. Well, he's sitting on a cactus. Oh, look at this. They're building a bridge. It looks very, very insecure. Wait a minute. I can see a problem, can't you? How it's jumped off there. Oh my god. How did it get underneath there? It is not going to fit underneath that. No way. This bridge looks very unsafe, don't you? Well, you think it's safe? What? It's definitely safe. Well, it isn't safe. I'll tell you why it isn't safe. Because you've just done the jump off there. So that was added afterwards. So you're going to put that on. I wouldn't do that. You would have done that, right. Okay. Be glad you don't work on the Buckenstung Bridge. They are building across Bopper Bay at the Bum Ridge. It's a troublesome world. All people are in it. Are troubled with troubles almost every minute. You ought to be thankful the whole helping lot for places and people. You're lucky. You're not. Oh man! Oh dear, this one's funny. Just suppose, for example, you lived in Gazat and you got caught in traffic on the Zat Highway 8. Do you suppose that this highway just goes round in a circle? What? Oh look, everybody's... Oh man, that ear. There looks even to be a baby there. That is impossible. They're all like stuck, so they're all coming towards each other. Some of these animals look very strange, don't you think? Ooh, there's elephants. Or suppose, for instance, you lived in Gazar with your bedroom up here and your bathroom down here. Yeah. just like that place in Gilder Water that was built, where it's like a place where you can sit. It's quite pricey though. Imagine if you, and also, imagine in the olden days, kids. You know when back then you might have had a relative or someone living back then and they had to walk outside to go for a number 2. Luckily for them, if they just needed a number 1 they could use the chamber pot. Some houses did get them inside. Some houses were actually built, you see the outbuildings here, and yes, it was right here, this was the outbuilding. This is actually wanted to shed, the outbuilding was somewhere in the garden. Suppose you were poor Hedrick Harvey Hart, who has taken his form Dimulana latter apart. You never will get it together, I'm sure. You'll never know if the glick or giwer fits into the scrooks, or the snooks, or the snewell. Yes, Ducky, you're lucky you're not Harvey Hart. He was taking his form demulator apart. Raju, why did you take it apart in the first place? Cause you were bored. Do you think there was a reason? You must have come with instructions. Did you assemble it first? No, just look at that. Oh, look at this one. Oh, Matt. Oh, dear. This one looks bad. Look. There's like a city there, and the guy is using an old-fashioned lawnmower to mow down the grass. Old-fashioned. I think they work you too hard. I think poor Alan's sad. He has to mow the grass in his uncle's backyard. And it's quick growing grass, and it grows as he mows. Oh no! The faster he mows, the faster it grows, and all that strongly old uncle will pay for showing that the mower around in that hay in the pitifulest day of 2 dockles a day, and Ali can live on such pitiful pay. Do you know what I'm making so much easier if you use one of those like electric ones or maybe gas ones, or even just get a robot, a robot to do to cut the grass. Oh, then he wouldn't get paid. Oh yeah, good point. More hard work. He just gave me this. He said he didn't have enough money. Oh, he has loads to buy a new one. He has to paint flagpoles on Sundays in Grews. How lucky are you? How lucky you are. How lucky you are you don't live in his shoes. And poor Mr. Bix. Every morning at 6, poor Mr. Bix has a orphan to fix. It doesn't seem fair, it just doesn't seem right. But his orphan seems to go slump every night. It slumps in a heap and needing repair. Bix figures it's due to the local night air. It takes him all day to unslump it, and then at night air comes back and slumps it once again. Oh no! So you don't feel blue, don't get down in the dump. You're lucky you had to be walking jumped. You know what you could do, sir? If you don't mend it because it's just... Or, you see what, maybe there's a big problem. Maybe you can support it more. Nah. You don't... I mean, you have to get a bit sick. Get a good night's sleep. I wonder if you go to bed at 11. Look at this guy. Oh no! That must be even heavier. Why is your tail so long? And while we are at it, consider the snonks, the crumble-horn, red-footed, green-battled snonks, whose tail is entangled in unsolvable knots. If he hasn't, Muchie, more worse than you, I'll eat my umbrella, that's what I'll do. So, how did he get them in those knots? They're really unsolvable. Nope, I think he's got them into the knot. He can't solve them because he doesn't know how to. Now, one thing. So, it looks like a goat. You can see. One of these other animals with long horns, because you know goats have beards. It's like a duck, got duck feet. What do you think it is? Maybe you should write. Find out. You can write on my Facebook page that I will probably be linking in the description. Oh. And you are lucky indeed you don't ride on a camel. To ride on a camel you sit on a wammel. A wammel, you know, is a sort of saddle held by a button that is known as a faddle. And boy, if your own weddle faddle gets loose, I'm telling you, ducky, you're gone like a goose. Oh no, he's gonna fall off, watch out. I don't know what that's actually called, it's one of those nice lovely seats. Oh and look, his button's just come out. So he's gonna fall to his demise. Oh look, that duck can even see him, or that birdie thing. I need to get moving on. And poor Mr. Potter, T crosser, I dotter. He has to cross T's and he has to dot I's. In an I and T factory out of an eyes. What should they do with them? Oh god, there's even more over there. So if he puts it on there, how does he turn it on? Oh, that looks complicated. Oh, the jobs that people work out west near Harwich Hart. There's a Harwich Hart bee watcher. His job is to watch, to keep both eyes on the lazy town bee. A bee is watched will work harder than you see. Well, he watched and he watched, but in spite of his watch, the bee didn't work any harder. No more watch. So somebody said, our bee watching man just isn't bee watching as hard as he can. He ought to be watched by another Harwich watcher. The thing that we need is a bee watcher. What's very interesting. Oh, and yeah, Graham, I did paint watching in the series of Green Eggs and Ham. I bet that would be even more fun. Look. Oh my god, everything's just gone. There's like only one thing there. No wonder he's not very good. Oh look. Oh my god, how many bee watchers? The bee watcher watch the bee watcher. The bee watcher watched the bee watcher. He didn't watch well, so another watcher had to come in as the watcher, and today all the watchers who live in Harwich are watching on the Harwich watcher, watching the watcher who is watching the bee. You're not the Harwich watcher, you're lucky you see. Oh my god, look how many there are. This is big. And how fortunate you're not Professor Debris, who has spent the past 32 years, if you please, trying to teach Irish ducks how to read Javanese. Dear. And think of the poor puffing buglehorn players. Ah, they're buglehorn players who have pried down the buglehorn stairs every morning to wake up the Prince of Puboken. It's awful how often their pugils get broken. Oh, God, they're gonna fall off those. Oh my God. These stairs look unsafe. Oh, good, right. And oh, just suppose you were poor Henry Haddo. Try as he will, he can't make any shadow. He thinks that perhaps something's wrong with his gears, and I think that golly there probably is. Oh man, you remember these guys? Well, that's where they first appeared. Oh, it's that weird doggy thingy. And the brothers Bazoo. The poor brothers Bazoo. Suppose your hair grew like theirs happened to do. You think you're unlucky, I'm telling you, ducky. Some people are never much more unlucky than you. That is impossible. Why didn't they just chop their hair? That is so impossible. What's that thing? I do not know. Ooh. And suppose that you lived in that forest in France, where the average young person just hasn't a chance to escape from the pernicious plants. Pants-eating plants. Oh, those are his pants. And your pants are safe. You're a fortunate guy, and you ought to be shooting how lucky am I. Oh, wow. Now, yes, given that this, Ted was, American, yes, if you didn't know, in the UK we call, pants, trousers, so, yeah. In America, they have pants, and they're actually slightly a different thing. They're sort of, I don't know what they are, they're not like, we have like these trousers are a bit more fancy in a way. And speaking of plants, you should be greatly gladish you're not Farmer Flackenberg's 70th radish. Ooh, what? Okay. And you're so lucky you're not Glucky Gown, who lives by himself 90 miles out of town in the ruins of Rock. Rock is rather run down. And you're so lucky you're not a left sock left behind by mistake in the cavern's crock. Oh goodness, for all the things you're not. Thank goodness you're not something someone forgot and left all alone in some privileged place, like the rusty tin coat hanger in hanging space. Oh, why is that there? Surely something's gonna happen. Oh, these trees are weeping, they're gonna be dying. So, whoa! Let's see the last page. That's why I say, ducky, don't grumble, don't strew. Some critters are much, oh never much, so much more unlucky than you. These are some of the other books by Dr. Seuss. Ted Geisel, aka Ted Geisel, as you can see. Now his real actual full name, as he's known, is Theodore Seuss Geisel, or Theo Seuss Geisel, but you can just shorten it to Ted. Note that this is, I believe, a storybook classic, so this one is in the story books. at the time. And then so they're more like tell a bit more of a story and they're more fanfics. Anyway, that was Did I Ever Tell You How Lucky You Are by Dr. Seuss.